Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a really critical component of educational leadership and classroom success. We are drawing directly from the School Heads Development Program Foundation course, specifically Module 1, which focuses on the school head as an instructional leader. And our spotlight for today? Lesson planning.
To establish our foundation, we're grounding this entire explainer in the official framework from the Department of Education. Now, look, lesson planning is something every single educator is familiar with, but today we have a very specific goal in mind. We want to completely transform how we view lesson planning, shifting it from being seen as just a tedious, daily administrative chore to recognizing it as a vital, dynamic teaching tool that actually drives quality education.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our very own roadmap for today. We'll cover the teacher's roadmap, do some myth busting, break down the anatomy of the daily log, look at the benefits of planning, and finish up with leading by example.
All right, Section 1, the teacher's roadmap. Before we get bogged down in the paperwork, let's set up our core philosophy. Think of a lesson plan not as a simple to-do list, but as a giant puzzle. It perfectly unites instruction and assessment. Every single piece, what you're teaching, how you're teaching it, and how you actually measure success has to lock together. If one piece is missing or doesn't fit, well, the whole cycle of learning just kind of breaks down. Which brings us to a huge takeaway from the module. A lesson plan serves as a teacher's roadmap for a particular lesson. Seriously, think about that for a second. Can you imagine a teacher walking into a room of 30 energetic, expectant students without a roadmap? It's like setting out on a cross-country road trip with absolutely no idea where you're going or how you'll get there. No way. The classroom is exactly the same. The plan shows exactly what you and your learners are going to do to reach that final destination.
Moving right along to Section 2, Mythbusters, Lesson Planning.
There are a ton of misconceptions floating around out there, so let's play a little game of true or false to challenge some assumptions. First up, does daily lesson preparation actually discourage reflective practices? Like, does the daily grind of writing it all down stop a teacher from actually thinking about their craft? The answer to that is a resounding false. Actually, scratch that. It does the literal opposite. It absolutely inculcates reflective practice. It forces teachers to hit pause, sit down, and actively think about their teaching every single day. You're constantly asking yourself, okay, what worked yesterday? What totally bombed? How can I tweak this roadmap for tomorrow? All right, next mythbuster. When planning lessons, should a teacher stick to only one instructional model? Basically, is absolute rigidity the ultimate goal here? False again. Effective planning doesn't lock you into some boring, repetitive routine. It's totally the opposite. It invites you to explore diverse, research-based strategies. It gives you the dedicated space to figure out what actually works best for your specific students in that specific lesson. It is all about flexibility, for sure. Okay, let's hit you with one last true or false prompt, and it's a big one. Does lesson planning help ensure that time spent inside the classroom is maximized for instruction? You guessed it, this one is absolutely true. It is absolutely essential to successful teaching and learning. Let's face it, every single minute in a classroom is precious. A well-planned lesson means you aren't flying by the seat of your pants and wasting time. It guarantees that every moment is maximized for real, high-quality instruction. Now, let's shift gears a bit. Section 3, Anatomy of the Daily Log. Now, what's really interesting is how this roadmap is actually structured. Take a look at the official Daily Lesson Log template, or DLL. I know, at first glance, this looks like a massive spreadsheet that's going to induce instant panic. It can totally look like just another heavy administrative burden. But remember our goal today. We are demystifying this and finding the incredibly vital teaching tool hidden right inside. This complex template really just boils down to 4 totally digestible steps. Step 1 is objectives. This outlines your content standards, performance standards, and learning competencies. Basically, what is the destination? Step 2 is content, the actual meat and potatoes of the subject matter. Step 3 is learning resources. These are your textbooks, your portal materials, basically your toolkit. And step 4 is procedures, the step-by-step actions from reviewing yesterday's lesson to diving into new concepts. When you break it down like this, it stops being a terrifying spreadsheet and becomes a clear, actionable narrative for your day. Which brings us to Section 4, the benefits of planning. So, why does this actually matter to the teachers filling out these logs? Well, the tangible benefits are huge. First off, it builds incredible pre-lesson confidence. There is literally zero anxiety when you walk in already knowing your exact game plan.
It also bakes in that daily reflective practice we talked about, lets you test out dynamic teaching strategies, and make sure you are responding directly to your learners' unique needs. And a great bonus, the sheer act of writing it all out forces you to completely master your learning area content. Finally, let's talk about the bigger picture. In Section 5, Leading by Example. For the school heads and educational leaders tuning into this explainer, the foundation course makes your terminal objective crystal clear. Your job isn't just to collect these lesson plans and stash them in a filing cabinet somewhere. Your goal is to guide, support, and provide technical assistance to your teachers. By helping them build and master this roadmap, you are directly ensuring the delivery of top-notch, quality teaching. This entire framework is brought to us by the National Educators Academy of the Philippines, or NEEP. And seeing this really drives home the point that this is not just busy work. It is a foundational pillar of leadership development. If you're a school head, validating and elevating the importance of the lesson plan is quite literally one of the most critical instructional leadership moves you can possibly make. We've seen that the lesson plan is this perfect unity of instruction and assessment. It builds confidence and it maximizes that precious classroom time. So to all the instructional leaders out there, I'll leave you with this one thought-provoking question. Are you just checking boxes, or how are you going to actively empower your teachers to build their ultimate roadmaps today? Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer. Keep learning and keep leading by example.